Bing bong. That's how I want to start it. Ready to go? Ready to go? Here we go.
Are we? Yeah.
Yeah, of course we are. Wait, I don't have. There we go. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live right here in Matawan, New Jersey, from the Flipping Made Easy studio in what I just said, Matawan, New Jersey. So I kind of did it out of order. Your host, Sturch Gooch, producer Dina Simpson, the pick bitch, is in the house. She's in another power chair right now. She's got herself a muted mic just in case we need her, which we shouldn't because we know everything. But you know, if we don't know everything, we'll definitely have Dina to kind of fall back.
Well, there's been times in the last week or so where Dina's been sitting in on the episodes where she has something to say, but then there's that downtime because I
turn this way, I look over here, I'm like, oh yeah, what's that? Oh yeah, and nobody has a clue as to what she's saying. Lots to talk about today. Thank you guys for joining the show. We got somebody coming right in here. Go Pack Go. We got I don't know how to even, what is that? Win all day. Oh, that's one of your followers. Okay.
Go Pack Go, baby. Okay. Win all day. Go follow
Ken
me
Paulman
too.
joining us. Let's see if the Rams get moved ahead of the Cowboys in the top 5 today without eliminating the Cards. What are you talking about?
You're going to have to tune in tomorrow.
That's the power rankings. We'll do that tomorrow. Yes.
Episode.
There were power rankings released on NFL.com. We'll break them all down tomorrow when there's more downtime. We got a loaded day today. Not only do we have, obviously, the live show that's happening right now, but later on, special guest. You can't see my shirt unless I go like this, and that's the Paz. That's right. Paz will be in studio later for an exclusive interview with Chop Sports. Where else would you get an exclusive in-season interview with Paz than Chop Sports? He is our Chop athlete, one of the faces of the Chop athletes.
Ranked number 5 in the nation, ladies and gentlemen.
5th
in the nation. And I will say this, the guy that's ranked first in his weight class, which we'll talk about a little bit with Paz on the episode later.
Yeah.
He's from Michigan. He's 0-0, ranked number 1 in the nation.
He hasn't done anything yet?
He hasn't wrestled yet, but he took 3rd in the Olympics. So,
oh, that's right. No,
there's that.
We were talking to him. That's right.
Yeah.
That was last week. We were talking to Paz, and we're like, "Why is he right?" Well, he's like, "Well, he kind of did this whole thing called the Olympics," and we're like, "Oh, well, that makes sense."
Right. Yeah.
So, again,
he'll
thank
be
you
there
guys.
for the Big Ten season, though. I would imagine.
Ken says, "Sorry for not checking the itinerary." Well, Ken, this is what happens. You subscribe to YouTube, you'll get the lineup. This is what we do. Mondays we do the NFL slate. Tuesdays we do the Monday Night Football.
And I think we just decided that just now. So there is no actual itinerary. You're not wrong.
Yeah, there's no itinerary. No itinerary whatsoever.
We are now making that Wednesdays because that's the episode. That's
Power ranking Wednesdays. So, so a great game last night. I think it got a little bit closer than what we all thought based off of how the game was going. But the Los Angeles Rams take down I almost said Phoenix, Arizona Cardinals, 27-20. The Rams now move to 9-4 on the season, and the Cardinals are now 10-3. The Cardinals have fallen from grace, and they've fallen out of the 1 spot. The Packers get bumped up. We'll talk about the Packers in a second, but the Rams get bumped up into, solidifying their role as the 5th seed right now. But don't look now. They're a game out of the division. So it's kind of crazy how this is going to shake out. We'll talk about the playoff picture in a little bit. But first, obviously, the game itself, the Rams looked on fire. Van Jefferson is something special. Odell, as much as I don't like the guy, he kind of showed himself, like he showed everybody, hey, I still got a little juice left. And he played another great game. All the receivers on the Rams played a great game. Cooper Kupp, and I think it was Fogg or somebody else put up their top receivers. The Fogg metrics. Okay, well, he finally named him his own thing.
I'm not going to sit here and bash Cooper Kupp because he is the new captain. I think this was Ken Paulman that put this. He's the new captain of the wide receivers organization of America or something like that. And Cooper Kupp, you gotta give him credit. He's balling out, but it is a very much so a system thing. He is not the best wideout in football. He's not the second best wideout in football.
I said he's the second best behind Devontae.
I mean, like DeAndre Hopkins is better. There's guys out there.
Did you see DeAndre Hopkins drop a ball for the first time last night?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm talking about body of work. Cooper Kupp is a really good player. He's in a really good situation, but I just don't put him above certain guys that have been perennial top 3, top 5 guys year in, year out. And honestly, I have a hard time putting him over a guy like Justin Jefferson as well.
Jefferson, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jefferson gets to showcase his stuff in primetime next week as he has the Bears on Monday Night Football. It's funny. Another episode of Monday Night Football. I call it an episode. Another game of Monday Night Football. No Manning cast, and it was. I can't stand. This broadcast team is the shits. I don't like them. They don't. they nail something over the head so many times. How many times did you hear at the end of that game? Well, I would have kicked the field goal first.
Do you know how many times I heard it? 0. Do you want to know why?
Because you had it on mute.
I muted it, and I muted it. You know what? I've learned this, and honestly, I go through spurts where I want to be annoyed, and then sometimes I just can't. If I have a lot of things going on in my life that are already bothering me, there's no way I'm going to listen to Booger McFarland,
Booger's
Lewis
gone.
Riddick, or Chris Collinsworth. I'm just giving you the list of guys that I can't stand. I'm just not going to do it.
Where do you fall on Joe Buck?
Honestly, look.
I know that's a very hot button topic sometimes.
There's certain things that bother me about Joe Buck. But honestly, the fact that Joe Buck has been very transparent of late about how he used to be in the booth getting hammered. And I always used to say, Joe Buck is getting drunk. Him and Troy Aikman are blasted off tequila shots. I think Troy Aikman's still drunk in the booth, but that's another story.
I can't believe that you only for the first time saw the comparison between Troy Aikman and Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
How did you not see that?
Very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Maybe I have seen it. I just tried to unsee it.
Like,
oh
right.
You're
trying to get it out of your brain.
But with Joe Buck, I'm a fan of Joe Buck due to the fact that he's on everything, and I realize
everything, dude. Are you kidding right now? Like when did he never admitted this, right?
I don't mean on drugs. Dave.
Oh,
I mean like he's on every sport, every major event.
I'm like, dude, how many
Joe
Buck's
Buck's name is attached to a lot of things that I've listened to in my life that are special to me. Moments with the Yankees in the playoffs, you name it. Joe Buck has called a lot of things for me that I've appreciated. But at the end of the day, I realize how hard it is to get in front of a camera and to speak and to constantly have to talk. 9 times out of 10, you're going to eventually say some annoying shit when it's your job to speak. But Joe Buck could go get fucked anyway.
Back to Jesus Christ. Back to the game itself. I think that we've been waiting for this, or at least I've been calling for not a collapse, but at least show your true self, Cardinals. You know, you've been this dominating team the entire year, and then finally last night there was, again, I go back to this all the time, the boo-hoo, this new generation of quarterback that when things are not going good, they get very boo-hoo. You had to see this guy bitching and whining the entire time that the Rams are in the lead of this game, and then that final drive, dude, bro, like, you had one job, spike the ball.
Yeah.
And then you took a snap and then started running around like your head was cut off because nobody knew what the hell you were doing. You didn't call it. You didn't yell, clock it. You didn't yell anything. You just got to the line, snapped the ball, got everybody ready, but nobody knew what to do. So all of a sudden you're running around. You're literally going backwards. And you know, Aaron Donald is pursuing with his hot breath, just breathing down your neck. You know what's going to happen.
Speaking of Aaron Donald, he finally wrecked the game. Completely wrecked that game. I think the whole game came down to Aaron Donald and Matt Stafford. Everybody else did their job, but those two guys really carried the team yesterday. And honestly, if you really, really get into it, it was the coaching staff. Sean McVay completely outcoached Kingsbury in this game. And obviously the Cardinals had their chance to go ahead early, and then the pick in the red zone, they never recovered from that. The Arizona, there was never a point in this game, even though the score was one score, there was never a point in this game where it was even remotely close to me. I know that yesterday I was talking about how I was back and forth, and that if I do bet, I'm probably going to end up betting the Cardinals. I ended up betting the money line. I didn't pussy out. I'm very happy about that. And honestly, the sauce kind of solidified my pick. Once I saw the sauce is VIP, and I was like, I'm leaning this way anyway. I'm not, you know,
and once again,
what are you talking about?
I might as well just do this constantly now. Like, I picked
you faded yourself.
I faded myself again. I picked the Cardinals to win the game, right? I get like the day is wrapped up. I was here for like 87 hours yesterday, and at the very end, I was here to make, like, for the start of the Monday Night Football game last night. So I'm like, I'll make a bet. Let me see what Kyle's got to say. And then he was just hard on the Rams a lot. Like, I think I hit the first half with the Rams. I hit the +3 with the Rams.
Once I saw the money moving and the point spread go up a point, I was like, oh, this is easy for me.
But
it sold it. I fade the public 9 times out of 10 when I'm not sure where to go.
Shout out to Matt Prater for pushing that over and the pointless over, if you think about it. Because I mean, like, yes, they needed 2 scores, and if you listen to Lewis Riddick and Bob Greasy or Brian Greasy or whatever the hell his name is, you know that they were saying you got to kick it first. You got to kick it first, and then they get the onside kick, and you're like, see, if you kicked it first, you would have 2 minutes, but now you only have 30 seconds. And I'm like, dude, just get what's there. Take what's there. Like, honestly, yes, kick it first. I
do think that there is something to be said for kicking it first.
Yes, do it because you need it. You need it anyway. So you leave yourself the time. Your game rides on that onside kick. So no matter what the scenario is, you got to get the points and you got to kick it early. But just shout out to that broadcast team. That was like
idea there.
Nauseating.
Though, if I'm the coach, I'm thinking about it, and it's like, we want the touchdown because it's a lot easier to just get a quick 15, 20-yard pass after the onside kick and kick a field goal then. But really, you got the Hail Mary too. So there is
Hail Murray.
Well, that's true. And obviously he's has success with the Hail Mary in his short career. So
is that a short joke too?
No, I didn't use the M word. I didn't call him a midget.
Well, you just
Are
did
we allowed to do that? I didn't. Oh,
so you're just using the word. You're just using the terminology.
I didn't.
Okay. Well, in any event, the Cardinals don't get it done. And then they put themselves in a position where now the playoff picture gets a little crazy because they went from 1-3 with a loss, right? And the Packers move up by default with the 10-3 record, and the Bucs move up to 2. There is a lot of stuff to go over as far as the playoffs are concerned because now it's getting a little crazier. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 4 weeks left. You have a month of football to solidify your spot, which actually kind of sounds like a long time, right? It's a month of football left from now until first week of January. Then we actually have some football to discuss. As far as the NFC, we'll stick over there first, and then we'll touch on the AFC because there is something I want to get to with the NFC in particular. But first, the Packers, obviously. Here's the thing, and this is where I put this out on Twitter yesterday, and I was actually talking to Jay Devlin about the possibility of the Cowboys to grab the 1 seed, right? The Cowboys right now, statistically and standings-wise, are 1 game below everybody else. They're 9-4. Everybody else is 10-3. It would take a Dallas win out, which, again, their remaining schedule, the Giants this week, the Washington football team again, the Cardinals and the Eagles. That's a win-outable schedule because you got the Cardinals at home. So they can take care of business, maybe. So if they win out, all Tampa Bay and Green Bay have to do is trip up once, just once. And if they finish all tied, Dallas gets the nod, actually. I don't know if you knew this, but based off of strength of victory or strength of opponents or whatever the hell that like the second tiebreaker is after the standings in the head-to-head, Dallas would be up on a 3-way tie.
I think it comes down to common opponents.
Something to that effect. Yeah. Yes, something to that effect.
Because it's definitely not strength of opponent because there's no way that you have anybody beaten strength of opponents.
This is very true. But what I could say is this. The only way that Dallas can pull this off is if this all develops this week 15 this week, because I'm looking at the schedule. The Packers have the Ravens this week. Minus Lamar Jackson, maybe he might.
They're
play.
saying that he's probably going to go.
He's probably going to go.
Or at least they're planning on him playing.
The Packers, to me, out of the 4 games left on their schedule, the next 2 are the only times the Packers could trip up. To me, that's the Ravens and the Browns. The Browns will be chasing a playoff spot. They could be hungry. Myles Garrett's a game wrecker, blah, blah, blah. That could happen. Tampa Bay has to happen this week against the Saints in New Orleans. That's it. After that, they're going to crush everybody else. They play the Jets. They play the Saints. They play the Panthers. It's just that has to happen. So it all has to happen this week for the Cowboys. If it don't, it don't. It is what it is. They could still wind up with a 2nd or 3rd seed, which I would like because then you get the lesser opponent going into the first round of the wild card. Or the Cowboys can be complacent, take the 4, and then play the Rams. You want to play the Rams? I don't. I don't want to play the Rams after watching them play last night.
It could end up being the Cardinals the way things went yesterday.
Yeah,
and if you have to beat them, then you can end up playing them again. When do you play them? Final week?
17. So before the Eagle game. Yeah. So that the NFC is just loaded. Yeah. I mean, as far as so here's Scoop a Loop coming in. Dave, you worried about Dak ever since the ankle injury? Not the ankle injury, the calf injury. Because the ankle injury was last year. He came back and he was lighting the world on fire as soon as the season started. Then he busts his calf up a little bit against the Patriots. He comes back. He hasn't been the same since. He's not throwing the ball. He's not planting his foot. He's not doing things. He's not running anymore. He's not showing that he's an athlete like he used to be. That's Dak Prescott's MO right now.
I know where you're about to go with this next question that you're going to ask me. And I'm glad you're going to ask it because I have the same question to ask you, but I'm going to let you go through the process in starting this one off.
Okay, because there is 4 weeks left and there are seedings that are still able to be shuffled, right? But Dallas right now, at the worst, will be the 4 seed, right? Which means a home game in Dallas, wild card weekend, right? So that's solidified. That's done. That's at the very least. And that's if there's an epic collapse and the Cowboys don't win the NFC East, they're up 3 games with 4 to play. This will be bigger than the Mets collapse from 2000 and whatever the hell, when they were up like 13 games with 14 days to go or some shit like that, and they lost the division. That would be worse than that. And I don't know if I would be able to recover. I don't know. If the Cowboys didn't win the division this year at this point, I don't know if I can recover.
No, the Cowboys got their division.
I would assume
let's stop talking about that.
All right.
Actually.
So here's a question.
It's not gonna.
I was at the gym today, and I saw this thing on ESPN's broadcast, right? Which I don't typically listen to Ryan Clark. I don't really listen to any of those guys because, again, they have scripts in front. They get these things, right? They got pieces of paper. They're like, who wants to be the douchebag today? And Ryan Clark's like, me, I'll do it. And then he just pisses off the world, right? Same thing, vice versa for all these talking heads. But they brought up a good question, and I bring it to you because you are the resident Packer guy, and obviously we have Packer fans in the house today actually listening. So this is some merit, right? F. Tom Glavine. Okay, that's different. Okay. I don't know. Oh, Glavine, that was that year, I think. Maybe when the Mets collapsed, Glavine was like the guy. I don't remember in particular those specifics. But anyway, to the question I want to say. So right now, the Rodgers is the number 1 seed right now. Now, in order to keep that number 1 seed, you would think you would have to either win out or win 3 out of 4. Right? Let's just say 3 out of 4. Their schedule's favorable to do at least 2, probably 3. Right? So my question is this: should the Packers rest Aaron Rodgers with his broken ass toe right now, which is a fractured pinky toe? He's been talking about refracturing and all this other shit. Now you either here's your choice: A, chase the 1 seed and then risk Aaron Rodgers getting hurt and then your season pretty much being a wrap, or B, rest him and settle for the 2 or 3 seed. You still get a home game, but you don't get that bye.
I know that you already know the answer to the question that I'm going to. There's no chance that they're going to rest Aaron Rodgers while there's still seeding at stake. It's just not what you do when there's, especially now when there's only 1 bye. That bye is important for rest. What you're talking about is rest, right? Yeah. Aaron Rodgers has an injury where if he got surgery today, he said that he'd still be able to play on Sunday.
He thinks he's a cyborg, and I don't know if that would happen.
No. This is the doctors telling him this. It's not like Aaron Rodgers. And when I say doctors, I mean Rogan. Rogan told him that if he gets his surgery, that he'll be able to play on.
If anybody has the right information, it's Joe Rogan.
But the point that I'm making is Aaron Rodgers' toe isn't really at risk of getting injured worse. It's broken. You know, it's just a pain management thing. Could he deal with the pain?
My back is broken. Right? My toe is broken.
But yeah, it's not something that's a partially torn ligament or tendon that could get worse. It's not a muscular. It's nothing like that. It's not a soft tissue injury. It's literally a fractured toe. Honestly, they shoot him up with the needle. First 2 quarters, he's good. Mid-third quarter, he starts to limp. Fourth quarter, he's limping around. But at that point, he's got 400 yards and 4 touchdowns already. So it did its job.
Okay.
All right? Mm-hmm. No, they're not going to rest Aaron Rodgers. There's no way they rest Aaron Rodgers. We just got the 1 seed, Dave. You want us to give it up now and lose a game? No, you don't.
I'm not saying lose it on purpose. Maybe you do get it done with
Jordan Love. I don't know. I know that you probably experienced this as well, but do you know how fickle the Packer fan base is and how
I don't know. You got one in there going back and forth with Kyle right
Packers
now.
Twitter. Well, I'm going to get into that
Kyle
too.
Thinks they're a one and done
what
team.
Kyle just said is they're going to lose in the divisional round, 1 and done. So basically what Kyle's saying is he agrees with me that they're the 1 seed because 1 and done in the divisional round means that we get the bye.
That's very true.
So thank you for that, Kyle.
Okay.
I appreciate
That's an endorsement.
And secondly, if things go chalk right now, and I'm talking about chalk for the rest of the season, Dallas is the 4, and then Dallas wins their playoff matchup. There's no upsets. Guess who we play in that first round that he's talking about? Let's do it, baby. I couldn't wish for a better scenario because honestly, there's no way we're 1 and done because I will die on this hill. The Packers will not lose to Mike McCarthy in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is not losing to Mike McCarthy in the playoffs. Matt LaFleur is not losing to Mike McCarthy in the playoffs. That's it. You could book that. Amber, you could quote this. Do what you got to do. This is my clip for the day.
All right. Well, there's your clip for the day. But I'm here to tell you that if the Dallas Cowboys get into the playoffs, which they should, and win that first round against whoever it may be, right? And I'm not even writing that off as a win. The Cowboys have broke my heart more times than I can even count, right? So, like, for me to say, like, oh, definitely, the Cowboys will win their wild card game because they're home. I've seen them throw up a stinker at home, i.e. the Denver game, right? Like, I've seen crazier things at home, right? But I'm telling you right now, Gooch, if the Dallas Cowboys win their game and there's no other upsets, and it goes as chalk, and the Cowboys go to Green Bay, the Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, that team, that defense will beat Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
right
so
now
we got to put some stakes here.
Sure.
Right? We got to come up with some stakes. Maybe we won't do it live on the spot, but maybe we could allow our fans and our listeners to decide on what the stakes should be. I'm okay with anything.
That's all right. So I'll tell you where there's limits for me because I don't like the whole you got to come in and wear a Packers jersey.
Look,
I ain't doing that shit. I will never do that. I'm not changing profile pictures or I'm not doing
Honestly,
that. There's got to be something else. We'll come up with it.
Yeah,
I'm
down with it just to be money.
I mean, we share the same damn bank account.
You know, like what? I don't know. What are we talking about here? If we're not going to do something that, like fan related, there has to be a shred of dignity lost in this stakes if it's not money. So we'll figure it out. I don't have much dignity left. So let's be careful. All right. Okay. When what we decide.
Tread lightly. Yeah. But listen, that's just my opinion. I just think that the time is now for you know what I watched? side note, sidebar, okay, as we talk about Aaron Rodgers and the NFC playoff picture and all that stuff, we'll get into all that going forward. But I watched for the last 2 days, I broke it up into 2 cardio sessions, Man in the Arena with Tom Brady. And I know that you hate Tom Brady, you want to fight Tom Brady, you think you can go square to head, toe to toe with Tom Brady. I get that. If you guys haven't watched that yet, listen, I'll preface it with this. I'm not saying like, oh, if you're a Tom Brady hater, stay away. If you're a documentary guy and you like stories, go watch this shit. I'm only one episode deep.
I'm definitely going to watch it because he's my favorite guy to hate. I don't really actually have like this deep rooted hatred for anybody.
Kyle Kerm's Mike Tyson face tattoo for the loser of the bet. Listen, I'm not putting a face tattoo on my face at all. This is the moneymaker. Oh wow, she's gonna do henna for a week. Can you imagine just like the Mike Tyson? That'd be hilarious. Walking in the store, the gym, everywhere I go, I'm like, my kids are like, what the fuck happened to dad? They're like, what happened there? What? Yeah, then we better win. Yeah, of course. No, but what I will say is this. Where was I going with this? Oh, man in the Arena. That first Super Bowl that the Patriots won was won strictly, specifically because they had the grittiest defense in history. Like McGinnis and all those guys, Buckley, Law, all those guys.
Aren't you talking about the one where Charles Woodson?
Yes, the tuck rule that year.
Rule. That's why they won.
Well, that too. But I mean, they got there because of the tuck rule. But I will say a defense can get you to where you want to go. The Dallas Cowboys defense right now is playing very good football. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm not saying they're the worst.
I'm also going to say,
I'm saying that they can cause some turnovers. And if there's any boo-hoo quarterback that's not a kid, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. When things aren't going good for Aaron Rodgers, he is pouting his bitch ass on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's pouting his bitch ass to probably another MVP award this year. Hopefully,
do you think he's going to win MVP?
Honestly, he's definitely in the thick of it right now. I think that Tom Brady now is probably leading, but I don't know, man.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
I think so too.
I think it might come down to who gets the 1 seed. If Brady loses one more game, then I could see it happening. I know that I actually got into a small debate in one of the Packer groups that I'm in about like what constitutes the MVP. And they put like this dumb shit up about Kirk Cousins stats and how they're on par with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm like, yeah, but one guy has 6 wins and one guy has 10.
To me, I think winning games in the NFL has to go into criteria. You have to. Like you can't look, we've seen historic seasons by bad teams with good quarterbacks. That's fine. But take the player away from the team. And that's what makes you most valuable. You take Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady away from their respective teams, they're not winning football games.
I mean, I think Tampa Bay has more paths to victory than the Packers would, minus the quarterback. I just think that they do. I think Tampa Bay's roster is pretty loaded.
Yeah, but then if you bring in homeboy from wherever they drafted, I think they drafted a kid as his backup. So
Kyle Trask,
maybe. I don't even know if he made the team, but in any event, most valuable player is given to the guy that has the most value. It's in the context. It's in the context.
Yeah.
You take Kirk Cousins away from the Vikings.
I will take.
There's still 6 wins.
I will take boo-hoo bitch ass Aaron Rodgers over fucking lollipop pick 6 Dak any day of the week.
Pick 6 Dak throws 1 pick 6 and all of a sudden he's picked 6 Dak. That's funny. That's cute. I like that. That's actually, you know what that is? That's tacky cute. Tacky perfect. So that is. Wow. The gloves are coming off here on a Tuesday. That's fun. But anyway. Yes, I think AJ coming in there. Yeah, I think you like that one. Kyle coming in. I do think Green Bay's defense is fading at the wrong time, though. That defense doesn't scare me right now.
Perfect.
It did 6 weeks ago.
I love hearing that.
He says all jokes aside.
I absolutely love hearing that because Jair Alexander will be playing this weekend, and so will Zadarius Smith. So they're getting their boys back, baby, at the perfect time. We've been dealing with injuries all year long, and guys have been stepping up. I'm very confident that.
Yeah, we just had our defensive line together for the first time.
No, we're not talking about Dallas right now.
I'm just telling you,
about the eventual Super Bowl.
Don't cry wolf with the whole. We've been riddled with injuries.
But what he's sitting here and saying is the Packers defense doesn't scare him. I understand they're looking at things because they just gave up 30 to the Bears. Well, 27 of those came in the first half, and one of them was a punt return. There was a couple big plays. They do have the propensity to give up a big play.
Who's returning punts and kicks for you guys going forward?
Hopefully they just fair catch everything. And by I say fair catch, I mean just don't even field the punt. Because I liked having Cobb as like that insurance policy, but he's done for a little bit. Amari Rodgers, he just has no confidence. I do not want to see it anymore.
Right. So that's kind of like That's where that mug comes from, by the way. That's in the corner of the studio that was given to me by my boy Dom. It literally says and reads.
Kyle brought his troll shoes today, man. Like, this guy won't stop.
Zadarius roughing the passer.
Like, I need to see some data on that. Is Toast watching? He'll probably have every penalty. But anyway,
that's why I have that mug. It says, hold on to the ball, asshole. That was a big MO for the Cowboys. They couldn't feel the punt. They would fumble it all the time. So now, no matter what, I don't care about the return. Catch it first, then figure things out. But yes, Sauce is all over this today.
Kyle's talking shit. He hasn't even actually broken down the game yet. By Sunday, the Packers are going to make his fucking VIP ticket. So I don't want to hear it.
That's a good. I want to hear it. That could be good. Staying in the NFC now, outside the Packers and Dallas, because it's gotten about 10 degrees hotter in here since we started talking shit. Now with the Rams at 9-4, they're 2 games up on the 49ers. They're 1 game behind the division, but it seems to me that the 5th is locked. In case there won't be a breakdown. It will either be the Rams or the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Right. So now I ask you.
I do think that the Niners have a chance still if the Rams completely
Rams have to lose 2 out of the next 4.
Yeah. That's very possible.
Yeah,
one of those I'm pretty sure one of those games is against San Fran. So that changes things a little bit. The Rams can definitely falter a little bit. Outside of yesterday, they haven't looked great. So we'll just say that. I don't think it's that locked. I do think it's locked in on the NFC West, though. There's no doubt it's going to be one of those 3 teams.
Okay.
And you're probably right, though.
All right. So the 49ers are sitting there at 6. If they basically win 3 out of their next 4, they'll probably lock in at the 6th, right? Because that'll give them 10 wins, and the other teams would have to win out in order to catch them. So 3 out of 4 for the Niners, you get you to the 5, the 6. My question is, who the hell is going to be that 7 right now? Because you have 5 teams at 6 and 7 right now, in which the Eagles play the Washington football team this week. So loser of that, goodbye, right? So that cuts 1 out. Then you got the Vikings, the Falcons, and the Saints. The Saints, to me, again, I'll say it over and over again, as much as they gave Dallas a run for their money and as much as they just beat the brakes off the Jets, it is the Jets, and I don't see them being a playoff team. I think this comes down to the Vikings and the Washington football team. That's where I think.
Unless Philly could beat Washington this week, then you could sneak Philly into the conversation, and it allows things to open up for Atlanta and things like that. Yeah. But I just don't see them being able to win the majority of their games. I think Minnesota, outside the Green Bay game, has some easy games on their schedule. I think they could do it.
Well, again, you say outside the Green Bay game, which will give them an 8th loss. That's what I'm saying.
Well, 9-8's getting in. There's a chance that 2 of these teams are 9-8, but and one of them ain't going to be the Falcons. So
no, Falcons are out. The Saints. I would say the Falcons are out. The Saints are out.
Honestly, it's
a 3-team race.
I would say it's going to be the Vikings. They're the best team out of all those teams. They're the best under 500 team in football history. Where's the banner?
Right. Right. Very good. Very good. All right. Moving on to the AFC before we go to break, because I do want to touch on this. Now that week 14 is behind us, the number 1 seed right now is the New England Patriots. The number 2 are the Tennessee Titans. Number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. And number 4, the Baltimore Ravens at 8-5. Now, right behind them, you have the Chargers sitting there solidified at 5. The Colts are at 6, at 7-6. And the Bills are at 7-6 as well, but they've fallen from grace. The teams that are in the hunt, bro, there are 4 teams at 7-6. That AFC is loaded with mediocre teams.
Seeds 5 through 13, or you understand what I'm getting at. There's 13 teams that could make the playoffs in the AFC still. I think
there's only 14 teams that exist, and the only team that's out are Urban Meyer's bitch-ass Jaguars.
There is 16.
Oh, 16. I'm sorry. So that's Urban Meyer's bitch-ass Jaguars and Robert Sala's bitch-ass Jets.
And the Texans.
So 3 teams are out, as I just keep rolling the shittier teams. So 13 out of the 16 are still alive. That's kind of crazy. But I will say, if you had to think, then there's a big game coming up this week in particular. The Patriots play the Colts.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's going to be a great game. We'll talk about that on Friday, because obviously that game's going to be great. That's the Saturday night game? I think that's the Saturday night. The Raiders are kicking off the Saturday
football.
slate.
College football is
so we got some Saturday football, which is going to be great, and it makes it a lot easier to bet because there's only a couple of games, so you can't lose a bunch. You can only lose twice. But yeah, the Patriots and the Colts play each other, I believe, on Saturday night. So that's your main event for Saturday night primetime. That's going to be great. Do you think the Chiefs have a path to the 1 seed over the Patriots if they win out? Do the Patriots slip up at all? I mean, there's division games left. There's a Bills game left. So
Yeah,
Chiefs have a shot.
I do think the Chiefs probably are favored to get the one. Actually, no, I think I saw the odds the other day before the game, and the Patriots are still favored to get the 1 seed in terms of Vegas odds. But yeah, man, the Chiefs, they're rolling right now. I can't see the Patriots are rolling as well, but the way the Chiefs are playing, defense, offense, they could do it a lot more ways. The Patriots, I wouldn't say that they're one-dimensional. I just think that
what would make you say that? They ran the ball?
No, but they've had
week?
some games where they could win more than just running the football. That weather dictated that.
Yeah. Just so you know, a betting alert on KyleCurtains.com. You might want to get involved on this one. Pats Colts, huge game alert. 2 units.
Word.
Whatever the hell your units are, ladies and gentlemen, which mine are bitch made $10 here and there. But if you're tossing out $200 on this game, that's a big thing to pay attention to. Kyle, I'm extending this invite. Obviously, Football Friday. Make sure you come on over here and give us your leans. Your lean on Friday.
To answer your question, though, I have to look at this schedule and really look at where the games are and things like that. I just think that Kansas City is a better team than New England right now. As much as I'm high on New England and I've been the last 2 months, Kansas City's got the experience over this particular New England team. I know the coaches have been there, but obviously when we're talking quarterback,
it's Mahomes and Mac Jones.
Yeah,
you know, so that's
the experience.
And all signs point to me.
Side.
If I had to pick a dream scenario right now, I think Mahomes and Mac Jones AFC title game would be pretty cool. I also love the Colts. I have no problems against the Colts. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have these AFC teams, sometimes
I would love to see exactly that game. I would like to see the Colts and the Patriots.
Yeah.
In the AFC championship.
Who the hell is Glow? Oh, Gloria. Anyway, but also there was another. I think I missed the comment, but I think AJ was trying to defend his Jets, saying the last time the Jets played the Cowboys, Adam Gase was the coach and he beat the Cowboys. Yeah, congratulations. The Jets are still shit. Like, I don't know what else to say to that, but I digress. But anyway, so so we have the Ravens now. Do the Ravens scare you now with this Lamar Jackson thing? So obviously the Packers play the Ravens. Packers have a strong chance and ability to get that done, right? And then they would drop to 8-6, and then you have teams behind them, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Steelers, all right behind them. Again, sorry for the Steeler fans. I think that tie is going to burn you at the end. I think that tie is going to give you one less win.
Well, I'm here to tell Steelers fans that we're here for you guys because we got the Ravens and the Browns back-to-back, and we're going to handle some business and put Pittsburgh right back into the thick of things. Like I said, they're not dead, and I have some control over that because the team that I own is going to go in there and take care of business.
You do own them.
Yeah.
You do own them, along with the Bears.
Yeah, we also own the Bears.
So if you are a stockholder in the Packers, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There is a brand new update. If you just go onto your scroll, which I'm sure you have framed, you can just add the Bears.
But the Packers,
onto
the Packers stock, like I legally purchased that. With the Bears, like
which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
We raided their city and stole everything they have. So we took that. That's now ours. It's not like we bought it.
Listen, Kyle chiming in. Dave said Pittsburgh is dead. Yes, I did. I said that the tie is going to break them. They're not going to be able to get in the playoffs with that tie. That's where I stand right now with a month to play. Show me something else. Listen, here's the thing. My dad is an old school fan, right? Old school Cowboy fan. He hates the Steelers with a burning passion because of the 70s, all that shit. I didn't grow up in that time. The one time the Cowboys played the Steelers, we beat the shit out of them in the Super Bowl 30, right? So I don't care about the Steelers.
Hey, it's another thing we got in common.
I'm also this is going to maybe make me look like, I don't know, not a decent human being, but I am a decent human being. I like Big Ben. I'm sorry. Like, I know that he's been through his shit. I like Big Ben.
It's a rough guy to like.
It's a rough guy to like, but I think like he's still in there. He's standing in the pocket. He's still trying to win football games for his team. You got to respect that. I don't care what he's done in a bathroom stall. Like, whatever he wants to do, he's done already. You know what I'm saying? If you got away with it, shame on the legal system. I don't know what to tell you. But I think the Steelers are done as far as this playoff chances because of the tie. That's all. That's the only reason why. And now TJ Watt might be out. You know what I mean? So the wheels have kind of fallen off.
It's not easy for anybody right now.
No.
If you look around the league, specifically the AFC, there's some real issues going on all these teams. So it's hard for me to say one is done because we look at a team and like Pittsburgh, yeah, they have issues. And then we look at Baltimore. Lamar's now hurt. They have issues. The injuries are Baker Mayfield's the quarterback of the Browns. There's clear issues there.
Wasn't that last year's race too, if I'm not mistaken? There was a 3-team race at the very end.
11 wins or more.
Yeah, it was crazy. But this year's a little different. They beat each other up a little more, and they're not as good as they were last year. That goes across the board for all 3 teams. They're not as good as they were last year. But now, if you look at the 5, 6, 7,
Cincinnati's better. So it's like
that's what I'm saying. You're adding a whole other team.
That's been Pittsburgh's kryptonite this year.
Strong.
Anytime Pittsburgh had some momentum this year, Cincinnati came in and throttled them and took whatever they had.
Yeah. Including their souls. Like, I think that's a wrap. But anyway, when you look at that 7, just like the NFC, right? The 7 seed is crazy right now. The Bills obviously hanging on by a thread. They've played some bad football over the last couple of weeks, right? Then you have the Browns and the Bengals, which, again, in contention for the AFC North, but also the wild card. You think the Broncos have anything here?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
You do, because of the running game, right?
Because of the way they play football, and it's now December, and yes, their style lends to the cold weather games. I don't know if they go on the road in any places where it's going to be a controlled environment, but typically when you run the football, it doesn't matter. If you execute, you could run the football anywhere. It just makes it a little bit harder for the defense when it's cold.
Right. That's that'll be interesting. But look, we got 4 weeks of NFL left to play. It's going to get crazy.
I do.
Kyle
Javonte Williams.
Chris has a weird heart on for Denver. He does.
I win money on them. I have a good pulse on Denver this year.
Yeah,
it happens.
We'll see. Anyway, didn't want to do that one. Sorry. Where was I? There we go. I'll just put that up there for now because we're going to go to break. And when we come back, we have ourselves one more thing to talk about. It's going to be historic. It's a historic night here in the NBA. Unfortunately, it's going to happen.
I think I might have to take Goop's spot in the rough and rowdy match against Kyle. He's literally coming at me today.
I haven't looked at the other one, but we're taking a break right now. We'll come back. We'll talk NBA right after this. You know, myself and Gooch are both getting a little older. One of the first things to go is your vision. Thank goodness for our hookup over at Absolute Eyewear in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right on Main Street next to the train station. They have glasses for all ages, all budgets. They have safety glasses, sports glasses. They are a full-service powerhouse offering eye exams and even free lenses for the kids. They work with BCBS, AAA, AARP, giving massive discounts. They're open 5 days a week, closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. Call 732-326-3937 to get your first pair of Ray-Ban, Burberry, Coach, Polo, you name it, they got it. Go see Craig and Johnine right now. All right, welcome back to the show here, live from the Flipping Made Easy studio in Mattawa, New Jersey. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our new partners over at SuperDraftPro.com. Guys, this is another way to find out if you're good at fantasy football. And when I talk about fantasy football, I'm talking about daily. I'm not talking about just football. There's a whole bunch of sports on there, every sport, daily fantasy. Go sign up. You're going to use the easy link. It's SuperDraftPro.com. /chop sports. Go check it out. Sign up. This is different. It's a subscription-based thing. So you're not dropping $5, $10, $20 a game. You're actually dropping $20 a month. So you can actually do that by going, once again, SuperDraftPro.com /chop sports. A whole different way to play fantasy sports. I think it's an interesting concept. I watched it. I watched a couple tutorials yesterday. I had to talk to the VP who will be coming on with us as a guest on the podcast to explain himself at a later date, which is going to be great. There's something to be said about this. I don't know what it is, but fantasy sports have taken a different turn now because look, I don't know. How many leagues you in? Six. How many playoffs did you clinch?
5.
Okay, so I'm in 3 and I clinched 2. So now for that one league, if I was not to clinch any playoff spots, what the hell am I going to do?
The only league I'm not in the playoffs is the Chop Sports 16-man.
Oh, it's weird. The only league that I'm not in the playoffs is the Chop Sports 16-man. So the two owners of Chop Sports who went their separate ways, right? We went our separate ways, said NFC, AFC, we're going to dominate. See you in the championship, bro. 16-team leagues, forget it. I'm never doing it again. RIP. So if you win this year, you get to have a belt. I'm not getting you a belt. I'm saying you get to wear that belt as the first ever and only ever 16-man, or technically 32-man.
Just don't put that belt on in front of Aaron Rodgers because he's going to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Did you see Devontae Adams' quote?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Why do people do this?
It's ridiculous.
How about this? Robert Quinn did it in week 5 or week 4 when we played the Bears. He did it that game too, and it didn't work out. You're poking the
damn bear. Yeah. Let's stop doing this. Anyway, so yeah, SuperDraftPro.com /chop sports. Go check those guys out. It's our new partner. They're awesome people over there. A different and new, unique way to play fantasy sports. And of course, if you sign up, there's different incentives. You can get other people to sign up too, and that you'll pay yourself back. It sounds like a pyramid scheme because it is a pyramid, but it's not a scheme. It's actually a thing. Like you don't have to buy like $18,000 worth of like shakes to sell and then promote Beachbody like a madman. You know, have you ever seen those people? Oh boy. Like they listen, don't get me wrong. They all wind up looking fantastic. And so it works, right? But the constant, you got to buy this shit or you're going to die. And it's like, no, we're not. Everything's gonna be fine. I don't need this shit. I'll just go on a diet or I'll just go lift some weights. But yeah, those people, they get in their heads, but it's a sales thing. So shout out to the hustle, I guess, do your thing. But anyway, let's get into something, some historic stuff that can go down tonight. Steph Curry, 1 3-point shot away from the record, right?
From tying the record.
So he's obviously going to break the record here tonight. What blows my mind is that I searched right before the show. You said 400 on this little graphic here. The lowest price as of about 10:50 in the morning before we went live today was $436 to get into the Garden. I say, do you want to go or no? Like, you want to just remember that time we said, like, we're going to bonus ourselves out. We've done enough work. Do you want to just blow it all to see Steph Curry make history? Or
honestly, I've never been to a Knicks game,
which is numbing to me.
I've never been to a Knicks game.
You live a 35 to 40-minute train ride from the Garden.
I've been to the rodeo in the Garden. I've been to a Rangers game in the Garden. I went to
a Rangers game.
I went to the UFC.
You're not a hockey fan. You went to a Rangers game?
I went to a UFC weigh-in at the thing next to the
theater.
Garden.
Yes,
yeah, but I didn't actually go to the UFC. I went to the Barclays Center for a UFC event. I have not seen the Knicks play at the Garden.
This is
let's spend $1,000 on going go to see Steph Curry, the best player in the world right now.
Now listen,
hit 2 threes.
Listen, here's where I'm at with this, okay? Because I don't personally like Steph Curry's thing. I haven't caught on like everybody else. Like all the young kids, when I was teaching in the school system, everybody had a Curry jersey, everybody had Curry sneakers, it was all Steph Curry all the time. I don't think the guy plays defense. And then, yes, here comes Kyle. There's metrics to back it up that he's playing really good defense this year. Great. It's great. I think he's a one-dimensional player. And I want to say anybody can learn how to shoot. Clearly, that's not the case. But he is an all-world player, and he's about to break a record that's been standing the test of time, right? So that's going to happen. Not tonight. Not tonight. Don't do it tonight. Don't break it tonight. I think
so. You realize that he's got like 151 straight games with a 3-point record. He's definitely breaking that record tonight. Just stop.
It would be fantastic if the kid went like 1 for like 13 from 3-point range.
It's gonna be like 9 minutes to go in the first quarter, and he's gonna have the record. He's hitting those threes immediately. Yesterday he shot 15 threes. Steph Curry is shooting that 3. He's gonna hit 2. Stop. It's going down.
Scoop coming from a Knicks fan. Definitely happening tonight, and Golden State is winning. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to say the Knicks are going to win the game.
You might get that. Actually, you might get this vintage. You might get this vintage Steph Curry performance. The Knicks, what are they? 3 games under 500. They don't scare anybody. The Garden is that place. It's going to be buzzing tonight. You expect the star to rise to the top in these situations, like typical in the Garden. Steph Curry is going off.
Knicks, I'll ask this question. You know what, Dina? Bring your mic down. Because bring your mic down towards your facha and then hit the little unmute button because I want to ask you a question.
All right.
Do the Knicks give him a hero's congratulations? Like once it happens, is the game going to stop? Is the Garden going to celebrate this?
There's going to be a loud bing bong in unison when Steph hits the 3. Hey, Steph Curry, fuck your life. Bing bong.
No, they will not congratulate
him.
It's going to be rough.
No.
So you think they're going to throw shit on the court and like just malice at the
No, they're not going to throw shit on the court. They're just going to be.
He's not Trae Young.
Yeah.
It depends how many people go there from the Bronx. If there's a lot of Bronx New Yorkers in the arena, then there might be shit thrown on the court.
Ooh, ready? Kyle, ready? Knicks will win tonight. The Warriors on back-to-back road games. The Knicks to win tonight. I will take that money line tonight. And I don't typically bet the Knicks because I tell Dina this all the time.
There is zero
betting with your heart.
There is zero analytics in this with Kyle. He is just taking the Knicks blind.
That's not true. That's not true because he gets on me all the time for betting the Knicks money line because I'll do it every single game. But
I feel like there's a chance that Kyle honestly isn't actually going to put this out on his ticket. He's just talking shit because he's been trolling me all day.
Kyle, it's time to put up or shut up. I think you need to put the money on the Knicks tonight. And put it on the VIP ticket, which you can find at KyleKerms.com.
Honestly, I'm going to sit here. I'm not going to fade the sauce on this. I'm just going to take the over or the under because the Warriors have been playing shitty because I've been tracking them and losing money. And yesterday, that fourth quarter was so bad. I needed like 40 points combined out of 2 teams for the over to hit, and it was like 36 points in the fourth quarter. They didn't have, I think there was 36 points each quarter by each team going into that fucking
Golden
fourth.
State 2-3 against the spread in the past 5. They haven't been shooting well. So maybe if Mr. Curry is the one shooting, that's great. But everybody else maybe have slacked off a little bit.
No, Steph Curry shot 33% from 3 yesterday. He wasn't shooting.
Ready for this? It's 1,000% on the VIP ticket tonight. So let's effing go. I thought for sure I wasn't going to have anything to watch tonight. I'll be honest. I say this every time. I faded Kyle. I've lost. Not going to lie. I'm on the Knicks. I don't care. So look, there's people out there that are going to be fighting for the Knicks tonight. This would be all right. So here's the thing. Here's where I'll sit and die on this one tonight. Right. So everybody knows Odell Beckham for the catch that he made against the Cowboys. Right. That was the greatest catch. It made his career. It put him on the Madden cover.
Odell.
Huh?
I want to say something about Odell.
Hold on. He makes the greatest catch that anybody's ever seen. Collinsworth. Oh, it's the greatest catch I ever seen. Here's a guy, like whatever. He makes the catch. The Giants also caught that L that night. The Cowboys won that game. So everything is all about the catch. The Cowboys won. I'll have Steph Curry break the record in the Garden tonight, and the Knicks win the game because I'll ride and die with that one. I'll say that's great. That's all well and good, but the Knicks won the game, and you caught that L. That's what I'll take that. That's where I'll go.
Are you going to money line it? Is Kyle going to money line it?
I don't care what Kyle does. I'm money lining. I know Adina's money lining it. We're doing this. We're going balls deep on the New York Knickerbockers here tonight. How you like that? What Kyle? Where? They just flew in from Indiana 6 hours ago. A well-rested Knicks team at home.
A well-rested team at home when you're not as good as the team that you're playing doesn't really matter.
That's another good point. I mean, look, the Knicks are not as good as Golden State.
The Knicks are clearly shit. I don't know what anybody's looking at. They started 4-1 or 5-1, right? 5-0. And what are they now? 12-13. Let's do the math on that. You want to talk about the Warriors haven't been playing good over 5. The Knicks haven't been playing good over 15 or 20. Stop.
You're just a hater. Right
no,
now.
I'm being a realist right now. This is coming at me like through my brain. I'm not. If I had good things to say about the Knicks, right now, and I was thinking about it, I would say it. I just can't find anything. I don't think their roster is like not constructed well. They're a far worse team than they were last year. They're not playing great defense. They could be well rested. They're still lazy.
Kyle's predicting your opening line to tomorrow's episode, saying, "Sorry guys, I was wrong to fade the Knicks." That's your first line. Tomorrow.
I'm probably going to bet the Knicks.
Come on.
Kyle put him on his ticket.
Bullshit, dude.
Kyle put him on his ticket, bro.
No. So fade the sauce. Go ahead, man.
Great.
Fade the sauce.
That's great.
Because that's what you want to do. You've been a hater all this time. So why not continue to do that? Do that. Actually, please do that. Please do that. Because at least we'll have something to talk about.
I'm on a nice
hey, I told
run.
you so. Or you're going to say like, hey, I told you so.
No.
At least for that one. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, it has been a hell of an episode. There's a lot. Actually, you know what? There's one more thing I wanted to talk about because I was reading some headlines. Are we seeing one of the biggest busts in NBA history? Remember Greg Oden when he got hurt?
Yeah.
Zion Williamson, another setback. Dude, is this guy ever going to get back on the court? Ever?
No. He'll get back on the court. He's honestly Zion. He's Anthony Bennett 2.0. Michael Sweetney 3.0.
Oh, we're
right. I'm talking about
here.
thick. He's a chonky king. All right. This dude is not going to be. His legs ain't going to get right because he's 400 pounds. I don't care what anybody says. He's thick. I thought his weight would be an issue from day one.
Listen, Shaq had a good career.
No, bro. No. If you look at 21-year-old Shaq and 20-year-old Zion,
he was
close.
Right,
bro.
You're right.
Stop with it's not close. First of all, Shaq had 4 inches on him too. Zion's like short. He's a body, but he's not going to be able to jump anymore.
Scoop coming in on another team. He's back already and skinnier. Do you think it's a testament to the team? Like, then he's in New Orleans, right?
Bro, I don't want to hear it.
I don't know why I just had
Klay Thompson hasn't played a basketball game in 38 years, and he's still in great shape. Zion, you've been out for a couple months.
You
and
can't
you're 20.
knock all the fat NBA players. Look at Harden.
No.
Harden's a
bro.
Friggin'
Even people want to talk about Charles Barkley and Zion comparisons.
Terrible.
Charles Barkley was a beast. He wasn't fat at all when he was playing. He was a complete machine. Zion is fat.
Young Shaq was carved from granite.
He really was.
Have you seen him in blue chips? Like he was a big boy.
People don't realize Shaq could run the floor when he was young. It was not a joke. That dude was Shaq. You kidding me?
Shaq Daddy
Changed everything.
Listen, it was only something I wanted to bring up because I'm tired of reading that this kid's not on the court. You know what I mean? And that now, in hindsight, like you're thinking about this. When I was the Knicks got didn't they get what pick did they have where they could have got Zion? I think they got the third.
I want
Zion, lost the lottery, and I
want
wanted
Zion
so
to come
bad.
back. I want Zion to come back so I can start fading them because the books love Zion because people ride his.
Okay.
Blew the whistle on myself.
Before we close, Kyle's got a suggestion for the closing argument. As you just said this before, you said you wanted to talk about Odell. Before we go, is Odell Beckham back? And when you say, you know what though, he says back as if like, for me, it's like he was good with the Giants. He made plays, but his bitch assness like reigned supreme. Then he went to the Cleveland Browns where everything's working out. You go and you play with your best friend. Then the bitch assness took over again. Like what? This is his third scenario now. He's had like 4 games over there. He's caught a couple touchdowns. Why is he back?
They're 2-2 with Odell in the lineup. Is he obviously an upgrade over Van Jefferson at this point? Yes. I mean, like I was saying that Van Jefferson is ideally better, but I think that Odell is clearly the better route runner. He does everything, the smaller things better. People want to talk shit about Odell's ability to block, and I was one of those people. But then when you really look at it, the games that Odell was playing with Cleveland, they were a run-first team, and Odell did his job there. I wouldn't say that Odell
caused all
is
this shit
back in terms of he's not going to be the guy that has 1,300 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns over the course of a full season. Maybe he's getting a little bit healthier. I think he's healthier than he's been, but he's got a lot of these touchdowns that he's got are 1 yard, 2 yard, and really it was Matthew Stafford yesterday. I don't care who the receivers were. Matthew Stafford was so on the money.
Matthew Stafford, which was AJ Bascone's MVP pick for the year, which doesn't look terrible. And that's what took me out of the playoffs, by the way. We talk about that 16-man league. It was Matthew Stafford with AJ Bascone at the helm, took me down and took me out. So
and also,
my dad made a historic comeback last night.
I do want to mention the best thing about Odell is his new touchdown celebrations because he had the self-revive, which is really funny. And then yesterday, I know that you guys know the Detroit. I don't even know if he's a cop. He's like a security officer that's doing these terrible self-defense videos where like. So basically, he did that. No. And then if you go on Ghetto Gronk, which shout out to Ghetto Gronk, I get nothing from this, but they're one of the best Instagram follows out there.
100%.
Immediately, they have great memes up. So they obviously did I don't even know, side by side, but it was above and below of Odell doing it and the guy actually doing it, pointed the gun. So it was really good celebration. And at least he's having fun. Right, he's not throwing around, not having a fit. His dad's not tweeting. So yeah. Welcome back, Odell.
Ken Paulman saying, you know how many people took Dak out of the playoffs in fantasy? Actually, I've made the fantasy playoffs 2 out of 3 years, so maybe your draft sucked, or 2 out of 3 seasons, or 2 out of 3 leagues. So Dak has not knocked me out. I've drafted well, and I have a good team around him. Team sport, there, Ken. Team sport. One last thing, yes or no? Is Odell Beckham a wide receiver 1 for a team next year, not called the Rams?
No.
You think he's there? He stays.
I don't think he's a wide receiver 1 no matter where he goes. So
ever. Okay. I'm with it. I'm with that. I actually agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But in any event, this has been another banger of an episode. Tomorrow we'll do our power rankings. Later on tonight, listen, if you're listening to the sound of our voices right now, which you're either watching on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere like that, or you're listening to the podcast itself, we do have a very special guest coming in later on today. We said it in the open. Paz will be in the building tonight. Listen, it's a big deal because he's mid-season right now. I got a lot of cool things to ask him because I definitely want to get involved with his season and like things that he can potentially do for the Rutgers wrestling team this year, which are cruising right now. The Big Ten is going to be stacked beyond belief in the world of wrestling. And I'm telling you right now, Paz is one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet, but get him on that mat. He'll kill you.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna challenge him.
Are you gonna wrestle him here today?
I'm gonna challenge him today.
That's got to be content.
I can't do it today.
Why? What's the? Okay, never mind. Okay.
But I am gonna set this up. I need at least a couple days to train for Paz.
A couple days to train. Okay. Yeah. You know what Paz told me the other day? I sent him the link. This is what put me over the edge, over the top with Paz, right? I already know he's the nicest dude in the world. So kind, so like just
I have to send him the menu before we're ordering lunch.
Yes, menu for lunch. We'll do that. But also the best part that Paz said to me the other day, I sent him the link for his new line, which by the way, chopsports.shop. Go support Paz. He can make some money. College athletes are allowed to make money now. So obviously he's the face of our Chop athletes, right? But he's texted me the other day. It was like 8 hours after I sent him the link. I don't bother this kid. I just said, here's your new link. Have at it.
That was a Friday, right?
it was the match day.
Yeah.
He gets back to me, he goes, yo, man, looks great. Sorry, I just don't have my phone on me on match days at all. And I said, respect. That means no distractions. He's laser. You know what I mean? Laser focus. This kid is going to be not only, he already is an All-American, right? But mark my words right now, he's going to be a national champion, and it might be this year. We'll talk to Paz later. We're actually going to stream that on our YouTube channel later on tonight. So for all his family and friends, and for you guys, if you're interested in Rutgers wrestling and Paz, tune in later tonight on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe right now. Set an alert. Make sure you don't miss it. We're probably going to air it around 8 o'clock at night. So when you're settled in from home for your workday, sit down, put Paz on the big screen, and show some support to one of our favorites, Chop athletes going right now. So for Starch and Gooch, and of course, Dina behind the proverbial glass, this has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on a Wednesday.
So start training, bro. We're going to do this soon. Rough and rowdy Chop Sports style.
I'm reffing. Let's do it.
Jello wrestling.
Ring the bell, you pussy.